Mentions in both criminal and civil cases in all courts have been suspended with immediate effect. Chief Justice David Maraga, who chaired a National Council on Administration of Justice meeting on Sunday morning, says the move is to protect members of staff as well as the public accessing courts from infection and the spread of the coronavirus. Makori Ongechi with more.
The coronavirus pandemic has brought operations in Kenya's third arm of government almost to a halt. The National Council for the Administrative of Justice that met at the Supreme Court this morning announcing the decision to stop normal operations henceforth.
Hearings and admissions of all civil cases in all the courts are hereby suspended with the immediate effect.
That in the next 14 days, prisoners and remandees will not be presented to court. New arrests, except those deemed more serious, will be dealt with at the police stations, and all execution proceedings are also suspended. There will be no open court appearances. According to Maraga, all judicial officers will continue being on duty and the courts will continue to handle certificates of urgency and taking plea for serious cases.
Judges in all stations will, in the meantime, review deserving cases already identified by the prison authorities and issue appropriate revision orders in an effort to decongest the prisons. Magistrates' courts will also review bail terms for those who are in remand.
In addition, all conferences, workshops and training programs are suspended until further notice. There will be no foreign travel for the next 30 days for staff of the justice sector institutions, whether official or private, save for exceptional circumstances. The Chief Justice says the National Council on the Administration of Justice will be reviewing the directions from time to time as need arises. And as part of the preparedness to curb the pandemic, the measures announced by the Chief Justice are to take effect immediately in ensuring there is no risk either to contract or spread the virus within the judiciary premises. Makori Ongechi, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Churches across the country today adhered to the precautions issued by the government on washing hands and using hand sanitizers as a way of preventing the spread of the coronavirus, which has so far infected 3 Kenyans. But despite the measures put by the churches, hundreds of faithful failed to attend service.
A rather unusual Sunday at the All Saints Cathedral. Worshippers who arrived for the church service now using hand sanitizers at the entrance of the church before being allowed in to join other faithful. Inside the church, empty seats indicating the impact of the spread of the coronavirus at religious sites. Reverend Canon Sami Wainaina, who was leading the church service, indicating that the church had made some changes to ensure they safeguard the welfare of their members.
When it comes to Holy Communion, we are not going to use the chalice. The chalice is the big cup. We are only going to use the vials, which is the small cups. They are safer. We have not banned Holy Communion because there is no reason for that. Moving forward, we will be cleaning the cathedral more thoroughly using detergents, jigs, especially contact places like doors.
Worshippers at PCEA St. Andrews were also privileged to receive expert opinion from a doctor who joined them for the Sunday service. Here too, the hand sanitizers came in handy as the young and the old got a drop before and after the service.
We are each other's keeper, so we must continue helping one another and looking at even the more disadvantaged, because if this disease comes to those who are disadvantaged, it can have a devastating effect.
As a church, we have taken a bold step of simply saying we want to show members of the public that we need to show courage and strength to everybody.
Across the road from PCEA St. Paul's Catholic Church has ensured that the guards at the church were covered with masks as they conducted their duty of monitoring those arriving for the mass. Outside the gate, the church placed several hand sanitizers for members to use. a situation that was replicated in Kisumu, Narok, Busia, Kakamega, and Machakos counties, where faithful had to wash their hands and use the sanitizers before joining in worship as a measure to contain the spread of the virus. County governments have been on the forefront in preparing to tackle the pandemic by having isolation wards in hospitals. However, the preparations in public transport still remain a challenge, as most matatus are yet to implement the guidelines issued by the government to contain the spread in crowded places.